Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here for the Braxton, Not the Family Values, Season 1, Episode 4. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. So this is a little bit of a late review, so I don't even know if I'm going to roll that beautiful bean footage, if you will. We might just keep it at the stock photo and keep it moving. But the episode wasn't too much going on. I'm actually going to skip some of the fluff so that we can kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. So you guys know that Trina and Towanda are going to Maryland to check on Kevin Jr., aka Scruffy. Towanda, let it go. All right, my love, let it go. Nobody's buying it. Everybody is like, why you call him that? And you claim you done been calling him that since he was a little boy. Either you don't say the name much or you just went back in time and tried to make fetch happen. But it's not happening. Nobody understands. Not even Kevin Jr. We want you to stop it. So they're going to go over there. They go and they decide that they want to do something fun while they're there. They want to ride go-karts. Y'all, I'm going to say this. I hope I don't eat these words later, but y'all, do we like Vaughn? Do we like the husband? I don't even know how we feel about Sean, but do we like Vaughn? Okay, let me know, because I'm not sure if I like him. But they want to do something fun in the meantime. They also end up talking about Towanda possibly getting engaged to Sean. And I mean, I wouldn't blame Towanda if she never wanted to get married again. It's not like she was in a short-lived marriage. And why do they act like she got to ask Daddy Braxton about getting married? Child, this is her second hand in marriage, not her first. She ain't no spring chicken. If she want to marry Sean, go ahead and get married. But I personally, not only do I not think Sean is ready, but I don't think Towanda is either. I'm not getting the vibes that she's ready for marriage either. If she does it, I think she's going to just be doing it because she feel like she should, I guess. But I ain't seeing marriage for the two of them. And if y'all don't want to do it, tell everybody you don't want to do it. Watch y'all look around on Twitter or Instagram today and they already married. Because y'all know I be late. Excuse me, I interrupt my own video with my own message. So I have started a TikTok. I have 0 followers and 0 following. I'm going to fix that soon. But I do have my first little snippet up. I'm going to be doing those short reviews like maybe Love and Marriage Huntsville, Basketball Wives, and what else do I watch? A little bit of Love and Hip Hop. I watch stuff from time to time, but I don't review it on my main channel because I just don't have time to add in too many videos just because of my schedule. But if you want to see me do some short little snippets of some shows that you may watch and I may watch, you can come over here to Chatting with JoJo. It is over on TikTok. And yeah, I'm trying to get it together. I'm new. I'm not new to TikTok, but I'm new to doing stuff on TikTok. So we're going to see how it goes. Shameless plug. Let's get on with the video. The level of groupthink that exists within the Braxton family must stop. And I told y'all last week, Evelyn is responsible for a lot of this. Like, these girls, it's so ingrained in these girls, they don't even know how to get out of it. And I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. Do y'all see Tony's face here? Tony is making this face because she has brought up Kevin Sr. Now, I didn't know all this was going on. I saw it when it was happening, but I thought, foolishly, that the sisters were defying Tracy's wishes and the husband was doing what Tracy wanted. That's not the case. Tracy did not want a funeral. She didn't want her sorority to do anything. She didn't want people grieving over her like that. She wanted everybody to just remember her and then move on with their lives. Maybe have a party almost, because that's how she lived her life. So her husband decided to have a funeral against what she wanted. There's also been other things that he's been doing that are not what she wanted. And so when it comes to Kevin Jr. hasn't even really been talking to his father because there were certain things left in place that Tracy specifically wanted for Kevin Jr., not Kevin Sr. Now, we can get into the weeds of who her loyalty was to and what her and Kevin Sr. had going on. We can talk about that later. But right now, I want to talk about the group stuff that's going on, like why they feel like they all have to do the same thing at the same time. Tony is making this face because she has suggested that they talk to Kevin Sr. about what's going on and maybe get his opinion because you don't know what's going on in the marriage. And Trina tells her, you can talk to him if you want to, but I'm not trying to talk to him. I'm telling you right now, that's my boundary. I'm not doing it. And Tony is making this face like, I don't know if I want to do it, but I think we should all do it as a family. Why, Tony? You the one that want to talk to Kevin Sr. Go talk to him. And that's a lot of y'all problem. Y'all think y'all got to do everything as a group. We need to do it as a family. We need to do it as a family. If people want to have conversations, you don't always have to do it as a group. Trina is telling you her boundary is set on no. And Trina, work on your boundaries better, baby, because you folded. You folded in a matter of seconds. If you don't want to talk to Kevin Sr., say, look, Tony, do it, and you are free to report back if you feel like he needs to tell you something in regards to their marriage. But as for me and mine, I'm not going to do that. But I'm okay with you doing it. What did y'all think about that scene? I don't know. I don't like the way Trina was like, okay, well, maybe if you can get everybody on board. No. Tamar's scenes were good, but they were fluff. You know, they were just kind of filler in the episode. We kind of saw her doing her own thing a lot this episode, which is fine because I'm happy to see Tamar growing. I feel like she's growing. Now, the antics that she be doing with her fiance, is they still together? That wasn't a good... the jury is still out on the growth, okay? But she's writing her book. She's talking about her book. She's on this show called We Sound Crazy. Y'all listen to that podcast? I don't know. But she's on there as their 100th episode. They're talking about her album. They're talking about her book. They're talking about therapy. They're talking about her returning to the show. And she knows that it was Tracy's dying wish. She was the last person to sign up. And the reason why is because the show really does take a lot out of her. The show can be very draining. It's a lot of personalities. It's a lot going on within the family. And this time around, she's just had to make sure to set the appropriate boundaries to let people know what she's going to do and what she absolutely will not, like what her hard stops are going to be. And she's just trying to do the show a little bit differently this time around because Tamar is fun. She likes to have fun, and she wants that part of her to be seen, not some of the other stuff that is shown, because you can't always control what they show about you, which, now, Tamar, I'm going to let you have it because I know you're trying to make some changes. But some of the things that you have done on Braxton Family Values, as well as the Tamar and Vince show, are things that, you know, you did do. But maybe, listen, the Braxton Family Values is a different show. This is the Braxtons. So we're going to try our best to move forward from it. But a lot of it was just her growth and the things she's experienced. And I'm happy for her. She's been through a lot. She said in her book she's going to talk a lot about the real reasons that she left Vince. So maybe, you know, she's going to get into some of the things that happened with the violence or abuse. And it's going to be pretty heavy. But I'm happy that she's making the changes in her life that she needs for her. And I'm hoping to see her continue to grow. Because Tamar is funny. She is fun. And I want to see her continue to grow. Now the family is getting together. The gang's all here. Everybody's there. The Daddy Braxton is there, and boyfriends and husbands are there, and Mikey is there, and Mikey Jr. and Mikey Jr.'s kids and his woman. Everybody is there. And that's awesome. I'm happy to see the family getting all together. There is a little conversation between Daddy Braxton and Sean. I'm skipping over that because, again, Tawanda's not 18. Then they act like she's like a teenager and pregnant and they need to marry her off. After that, Kevin Jr. Is there as well, and that's who they are there for. So this is our first time seeing him in quite some time. They talk to him and ask him what does he need and how is he feeling. And right now he doesn't really always know how to feel. Like, of course, some days he's sad and he's going through it and misses his mom. And other days he just feels like, I don't know, because he's also going through his divorce as well. They talk about, you know, how they feel about things and how much they miss Trina. And there's something that he says at one point that like, he starts talking about the father and how they have been having it out, and he hasn't talked to his dad at all because his dad seems to think that Tracy wasn't in her right mind when she made the decisions that she made about the will. And that's when Trina chimes in, and Trina gets emotional. And I thought it was so sweet that he was like, I'm sorry, Auntie. Like, I didn't mean to make... To be going through what you're going through and still be concerned about the well-being and, you know, just loving on others. I just thought it was so sweet. Like, he really does seem like a sweet guy. But Trina says your mom was absolutely in her right mind. I was around. I was there. And that's just not true. And Kevin doesn't believe it's true, but at the same time, it's his dad. So I guess he probably is just like, I don't know. Like, could it be possible she wasn't in her right mind? And that's when they end up talking to the lawyer, her lawyer, the person who helped her write out her will and all the things that she wanted. They end up talking to him later. Now, Mikey Jr. asks Kevin, what can we do to support you and help you as a family? Which is why they are all there. Kevin says that right now, as a man, as soon as he said as a man, I was like, what podcast is Kevin listening to? So listen, I'm not a man. So I know that clearly, I know that there are certain things that men have to go through and experience. And, it's kind of like that whole dark night of the soul type of situation. And they just got to experience certain things on their own. I'm not arguing that point. But I was glad Daddy Braxton chimed in and said, we ain't trying to tell you what to do. Like, we understand you're a young man, but what we're trying to do is just be there to support you. It's okay to have that support. And I want Kevin Jr. to understand, I don't know who might be in his ear or what he feels like he may need to experience on his own. Nobody is trying to tell you what decisions to make or what to do with your life. We ain't even really trying to get in your business, because sometimes you just want to be by yourself, but they just are asking, what does support look like for you right now? And sometimes it's okay to say, I don't really know. I don't know. Some days I feel good and I want to talk to y'all. Other days I want to turn my phone off. And instead, what he says was, just know that if I reach out to y'all, it's an emergency. And they're trying to get him to understand, well, we don't want to just hear from you when it's an emergency. We want to know what we can do for you right now. I will continue just to be there as much as possible. Call, check in, put reminders in your phone, because sometimes we have the best intentions of checking in, but life gets in the way. So put up reminders in your phone, put reminders around your house, check on Kevin, call Kevin, until it starts to become like a routine for you, like you never forget. Because I have a feeling y'all weren't doing this before. You were probably checking on Kevin through Tracy. That's what happens sometimes with siblings. Like, you may not call the kids directly. You just use the sibling and ask, how's the family doing? So you may have to get in the habit of checking on him and really forming that bond. But, create reminders for yourself. It's enough of y'all to do so. The family in Maryland, when y'all have family events, reach out. Even if he don't show up, invite him, let him know the invitation is there. Things like that. So my heart is heavy for Kevin Jr. Now he's not talking to his daddy either. Now, as far as this conversation with the lawyer, I don't really know what to... It's clear to me that Tracy felt something towards the husband, whether it was a level of distrust or something was there. I know he's cheated in the past. I'm not saying that means that maybe he was actively doing something. Something happened where she set up her will for Kevin Jr. to inherit more so than her husband that she was with for all that time. And whatever happened, it wasn't something she discussed with her husband, because he seemed surprised that this is how it's going down, unless he pretended. So I saw a couple of people saying, like, regardless, that's her husband and she shouldn't have left him out in the cold. And I don't know if she did. I don't know what the division of the will is. And Kevin Jr. says he told his daddy, I was born into this family you was married in. I said, oop. And I oop. They really ain't speaking no more for real. I know Kevin Sr.'s probably hurt. I can't say exactly what I would do because I'm not in this situation. I would probably still try to be there for my son, because it's not his fault that Tracy set these things up. Although he said he did know about some of it. And maybe he knows her reasons. But I would really just have to take it to God in prayer, because Tracy made this decision, not my son, And should he be abandoned because of the decisions that his mom made regarding her final wishes? I don't know. This is a tough one. What do you guys think? Do you think something happened? Do you see people's point when they're just like, regardless, that's your husband? Y'all let me know. And then in one of the final scenes of the episode, we have Towanda and Trina breaking the fourth wall. It was mainly Towanda, because Trina lets it loose that the production team wants Kevin Jr. to talk to his father on camera. And Towanda said, absolutely not. Don't play. And then she just yell out a name. I forgot. I'm going to just say his name, Travis. Travis! She yells a name out. And so he comes from behind the scenes. I said, isn't this so funny? Like with reality shows now, they break that fourth wall all the time now. They used to never do that. And she was just like, what is this about you wanting Kevin to talk to his daddy? And he was just like, well, we wanted to see if we could get a conversation with the two of them on camera. And she was just like, don't play with me. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not going down. I kind of feel like it might go down. What y'all think? What do y'all think? Ultimately, wouldn't it be up to Kevin Jr. if he wants to do it? Because he signed on for the show too. So I'm sure he has some type of control over what he gets to do and what he doesn't get to do. Whew, I don't know, but I kind of think it's going to happen. I do want to know, did the daddy, was he blindsided by this, or did he know? Did him and Tracy talk? Was there something going on? Was there a marriage? Listen, I kind of do want to know, but I understand not wanting to get too much drama started, but I kind of do want to know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What did you guys think about this episode? It was pretty brief. Like, comment, and subscribe. Come visit me over on TikTok, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.